passengers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's Division I final in the Western Collegiate Lacrosse League. The WCLL final here between the Mustangs of Cal Poly and the Gauchos of Santa Barbara. We've got an excellent afternoon here today in Los Gatos, California. And I'm Chris Nesport, joined here by John Corbellati, and we're going to talk you through today's championship lacrosse game. I'd love to hear from you. If you're out there watching, you want to shoot a tweet, let us know your thoughts. I'll give you a shout out here as we watch both these teams vie for not only a championship trophy, but also an automatic qualifier to this year's MCLA National Tournament in Round Rock, Texas. John, welcome into the booth, my man.
Chris, I am pumped up. It is just a long time coming, feels like, to have Santa Barbara and Cal Poly playing for a WCLL championship. I know it's Santa Barbara's only second year in the WCLL, and now they have a chance to vie for a championship, okay? We got Cowboys, Niners, Giants, Dodgers. When it comes to Club Lax, Chris, it's Santa Barbara, Cal Poly, two schools with rich traditions, a rivalry. Unlike many others, you have the tortilla toss in soccer. I know Cal Poly hates being Santa Barbara's little brother, and Santa Barbara hates to be mentioned in the same sentence as Cal Poly as a fun school. And here we go. We got two great club lacrosse teams battling it out for a chance at an automatic bid. I'm pumped up. I'm happy to be doing this. And both teams so evenly matched. It's going to be a great game.
Yeah, we're going to get into some specifics of personnel and what these teams have done thus far this year. But to your note, just both teams chomping at the bit. We're excited. The teams are excited. We saw that with energy and warm-ups with both sides, getting after it. A little bit of chirping here and there. Some hoorah, pumping each other up. And it's going to be a battle for 60 minutes. We're going to take a break here for the national anthem. When we come back on the other side, we'll talk about each of these teams. They knew that we were doing it at 3, so you can go. of difficulties here with the national anthem. Not sure if you heard that, but let's hope that's the only hiccup on the day as we are ready for some Division I final action here. So we got two teams here. We got Santa Barbara wearing blue. We got Cal Poly wearing white. Cal Poly coming in as the number 1 seed in this tournament, ranked 16th on the most recent national poll. Santa Barbara coming in at 21. I actually think that Cal Poly may be 15. But Santa Barbara at 21 in the national poll. And we are we're here live on the stream to give you information about these teams. So Cal Poly yesterday, close game against Sonoma in the first half. They pulled away in the second half. Santa Barbara, pretty tight battle with UC Berkeley, ended up winning 10-6 in that game. So just let's talk Cal Poly for a second. They're the home team on the scoreboard. They're wearing white. They're the top seed. Cal Poly, led by head coach Morgan Werriter, his first year in the position after being the defensive coordinator last year. John, who are some of your guys to watch for Cal Poly?
Well, don't be fooled by the stat sheet. He's missed quite a few games. Luke Mikolajewski, he's the guy that stirs the drink for this team. And freshman standout from De La Salle, Ryan Sanders. These two guys are going to get it going for Cal Poly. So they'll go as far as Sanders and Mikolajewski will take them.
Yep, and for Santa Barbara, a similar kind of two-headed monster. You've got junior Lucas Menendez and another junior Trey Cockler. Both those guys earning first-team All-League honors. That's 8 in blue and 13 in blue. So look for both those guys to have an impact. Right off the first face-off, though, the impact is going to be made between Jake Brannon for the Gauchos and Guy Lyons for the Mustangs. Brannon, he earned second-team All-League face-off honors. Lyons was left off the sheet this year, so maybe he's got a little chip on his shoulder. Both these guys obviously adept at what they do. And let's see who comes out with the first face-off. Whistle blows, and we're running here. We got a tie-up. Brannon comes out with it. Gauchos earning the first possession of the game. A little bit of action here as there was a pick set on the far side by Menendez. Cal Poly runs through it. Menendez maybe wanted that to be called, but it was not. And Cal Poly backs up the shot, the low-angle shot that Brannon took here. So working it up the field as Will Rackos, Santa Barbara pushing the gas pedal hard to begin this game.
Yeah, Brandon, 12 goals, 10 assists on the season. He's going to look for a shot on these faceoffs.
Yep. Princeton working it into the offensive zone for the Mustangs. This is a matchup to watch all day. We've got Mikolajewski against number 6 for the Gauchos, Jacob Gomez. Gomez, first-team All-League defender. Mikolajewski earned second-team honors, only played 4 games this year. In those 4 games, he scored 3 or more goals. Obviously made the All-League list. He was Offensive Player of the Year last year. So 3 in white, 6 in blue matchup to watch. We're going to get it off the end line here after Sanders pulled trigger from deep, just missing wide.
Nice decisive shot from Sanders, not wasting any time, just didn't put it on cage there.
Good pick. Miko turns the corner, unable to put it on cage. Missed wide. That's going to go to the Gauchos as it's closest to where the ball went out of bounds, not closest to the end line. I feel like we have to remind the stream every single time, and clearly we have to remind the players there as Princeton for the Mustangs thought he won that.
I was about to say, wrong direction. We might need traffic control cones out there for the guy to, find that ball.
With the ball right now is junior goalie Zane Schwab. Schwab stood on his head yesterday for the Gauchos, making 13 saves in their win against the Bears of Berkeley. He was largely the reason they won that game. Obviously, they scored goals offensively, but Schwab had a lot to do with it. Here comes Brannon, dishing off to his line mate Camden Dwelly. Dwelly, another first-team midfielder for the Gauchos. Dwelly had 2 goals yesterday, and I think they were 2 of the bigger ones. Not only moments in the game, but we could hear him. He's got a hammer of a shot. Menendez working on Rackos from X. If we're on one end of the field, you've got Miko and you've got Gomez. On this end, you've got Menendez and you've got Rackos. Rackos, a second-team All-League defender. Chu makes an early save. The ball is loose in a dangerous spot. Gobbled up by Collins, one of the captains for Cal Poly, pushing it up the field, but unable to keep possession was number 40. That's Siegel. And Cal Poly turns it over in the clear, giving Santa Barbara an extra possession. I think a good look there for the Mustangs. He was open in the middle of the field. He just wasn't able to
yeah, just had his head up. Spivey had his head up a little early, feeling a little of that pressure from Santa Barbara's ride.
Ball kicked out by Blue. That's going to be Cal Poly ball. Collins bringing it in up to Kobach. Kobach, these pulls for the Mustangs, no strangers to the offensive end. They're not afraid to go. Most of them have points on the year. Look for some transition goals out of the long pulls in white. Princeton over to Kramer. Kramer right to right split, draws a slide. Good slide there from the Gauchos and a nice handle behind. That's Waterman. Waterman stepping into his role as that ex-attackman. He had 3 assists yesterday, so much of a facilitator. Murray Osborne tripped up a little bit on the shot, bounces wide, backed up by Waterman.
Good strong dodge there, just lost his footing with a little trip up there, but Cal Poly fortunate to have the backup there or the shot to miss the cage.
Miko on Gomez, pick set by Princeton, gives Miko a step backside. Oh, low to high ripper. We had a great view of that. Have the first goal, Sean Waterman. 3 assists yesterday, opens us up today. Nice feed from Miko on the far side, and our view of that was fantastic. Let's watch it again here. You see Miko Lejeski. You got a pick from Princeton. Good job of re-picking. Pass goes over the top. Oh, man, he goes near corner with that, too. Talk about placement.
Wow. I don't know if Sean Waterman, had a late text message before the game from a family member saying, hey, there is a third attackman on this line, and he likes to sting at top cheddar. What a snipe there. And that's a great little confidence builder for Waterman, the third attackman. But maybe after today's game, he might be the first attackman with shots like that.
Great ground ball from Joe Johnson. Gives the Mustangs possession. They'll work to clear it up the box side. Dangerous place to clear it. I think he was expecting someone to sub out of the box. Early mental mistake for Cal Poly.
Yeah, Cal Poly struggling with the clear. They're 2 for 4 right now. 50% is not going to get it done when you're playing a good team like Santa Barbara.
Talk about clearing struggles there. Stepping out of bounds or some sort of infraction. It wasn't a shot clock. It wasn't a failure. It was a travel call. If you're a basketball referee, I don't know exactly what the call was there. I didn't see anything seemingly out of the ordinary. Nonetheless, Santa Barbara gives it right back.
And back with the first line for Cal Poly. Seems like they're going to milk this highly productive first line as long as they can.
Yeah, and Cal Poly, I think they're comfortable with, at least 4 of their midfielders. You'll see them work together a lot. Sanders, unable to. The pass was low. He tried to bring it back high. Ball in the stick of Fisk for the Gauchos. Ryan Fisk, senior out of Davis. He was really a spark plug player for Santa Barbara yesterday. He's listed as a defensive midfielder. He was, he earned honors as a defensive midfielder, first team all-league. But you see him staying on and playing offense, having a dodge, getting a shot, just misses wide. So Fisk, he's a guy to watch. He's an athlete for sure, doing everything for the Gauchos. Brandon, right? He's their face-off guy, but let's look at his stats here. He's also got 12 goals, 10 assists, so he's part of that first-line midfield for the Gauchos on top of face-off duties. Menendez loses a glove.
Well, we really lost a glove out there. Chris, have you seen anything like that? A glove on the field? In your playing experience and coaching experience.
You know what? I've not. There's a good check from Rakos to get it in the triangle. Oof. Pass on the inside deflected, nearly deflected into the net. But it wasn't. It's Cal Poly ball. No, I've not seen a glove on the ground. I think it's a factor of Menendez he's doing a little swim dodge there, so he has a hands free. Oh boy, that's a hospital pass from Rakos. trying to hit Kramer in the middle of the field, and Santa Barbara makes him pay.
20 seconds to clear the ball. You got plenty of time. Two guys crossing for Cal Poly, occupying the same space. 20 seconds is enough time to just be patient. Your clear should find the open man and have the easy pass. That was a tight window there.
Yeah. Dwelly, I think Dwelly likes this matchup on the shorty. Good job of keeping top side was Kramer. Menendez.
Looks like they're going to maybe try to get Kramer in a switch or short stick on short stick.
Menendez, 2 goals, 2 assists yesterday, 55 points on the year, earning all the accolades for a reason. Feeds, oh, nice finish right there. Menendez feeding Brannon up top, and Brannon just rips it, shoots a bouncer. Bouncer comes back high, tying up the game 1-1.
Nice offense there from Santa Barbara. They got 2 Cal Poly offensive middies out on the field. Just a nice cycle up from behind, head up. Cal Poly caught sloughing in, and a great step-down goal right there from number 10, Jake Brandon. So he may take face-offs for Santa Barbara, but that's an offensive middie right there as well. 13th goal on the season.
Brandon and Lyons back at the dot. Brandon comes out with it to himself. So after a long offensive possession results in a goal for the Gauchos, they are back at it. Brandon harassed by LSM Johnson for Cal Poly. Collins marking Trey Cochler for the Gauchos. That's another heavyweight matchup on the offensive end for Santa Barbara, is Cochler against Collins. Those guys know each other pretty well as the pass sails high. I guess it was deflected, or they ruled it a shot. I thought that was a pass that went through X. Referees thought otherwise, and Santa Barbara capitalizes on a broken play a little bit.
Yeah, tough timing on that. We'll try to avoid, as 2 Cal Poly people in the box, I'll try to avoid the Cal Poly homers. But it looked like that may have just been, check at the last minute as he was going for cage. But regardless, Cal Poly caught sleeping on the restart. And Santa Barbara, again, a second goal with their attackmen, with their heads up, ready on the restart this time, and capitalizing on Cal Poly's lethargicness here off the restart.
And Dwelly there, really heady play to recognize, hey, this is our ball. I'm gonna cut to space because I see it, right? That quick restart, he's ready to play, and Cal Poly was not ready to play, and Dwelly getting the feed from Thomas, who picked it up off the end line. Cal Poly wins the face-off. That was Guy Lyons, and then settling into the possession, finding his attack line. We've got Eubanks through X to Waterman, Waterman to Sanders. Here comes Iwasaki. Iwasaki looking to feed Sanders. And we've got a 2-on-2 scrum for the ground ball. More bodies flying to it. Coming out of it is Zen Chang. Chang finds his keeper. Got an outlet up top. Brendan Casey pushing transition. Finds Menendez. Menendez opts to settle it, recognizing there were no numbers in that transition. There is space this side if they want it. Nice thing about having some two-way guys is you don't have to wait for your subs, right? You've got Brandon out there, you've got Fisk out there. Those guys are ready to go. You don't have to wait for your sixth offensive player. We'll play 5-on-5.
Yeah, in the modern day game, there aren't many two-way defense to offense or face-off to offense. Now become a very specialized sport in 2023 when 10, 15 years ago, most middies were two-way middies.
Cochler trying to work a two-man game with Brannon. Cochler still with it. Nice footwork from Collins there. Going back to Brannon, who's got the shorty behind. That's Eubanks. Eubanks gets mixed up a little bit. Brannon turns a corner. Chu meets him high. Chu with a big save.
Great save by Chu, standing tall. Brandon's really been a problem for them.
Yeah, and great effort on that ground ball, or after it looked like Cal Poly might come up with it. Santa Barbara able to hold on. Dwelly back to his left, little, ooh, that would have been nice right there. That backhand
That's hard to get enough mustard on it from, 7, 8 yards to pull that backhand off. But hey, can't score if you don't try.
Menendez. Brandon doing some work in the pick game behind, has his man hung up. Now marking his Eubanks. Brandon to his left. There's another shovel shot. Backed up by Menendez. And Brandon's gassed. He's going to play a sub game here a little bit. They got 6 on 5 for a sec, and Brandon says, all right, I'm going to get a break. Menendez, a little speed dodge. Creates confusion. Fisk, nice shot and a bigger save from Chu. Ball's still live. Oh, Cockler with an opportunity with his hands free, just sends it high.
Already this two-man game for Santa Barbara. Menendez behind. Just his threat is kind of crossing up the lines for Cal Poly's defense. They're slipping that screen and getting great looks on the backside. And here they go again with the two-man game. Let's see how Cal Poly handles this.
Yeah, really trying to get a short stick matchup from Menendez. Fisk down the right alley. Fisk takes a shot saved by Chu. Fisk gets his own rebound, misses wide on take number 2. That's one thing I'm seeing early in this game, right? Santa Barbara, they're getting a look, but then they're continuing to attack. They're not content to watch the shot and see it go out of bounds and then reset. No, they're going to get the ball. They're going to keep pushing, which is keeping the Cal Poly defense guessing and keeping them, a little bit out of sorts. Fisk again sneaks one by high side there, and a great look after another very impressive possession for the Gauchos.
Again, nice strong dodge from the weak side there. And Fisk, low angle, you'll see he's working it right off the 20, rolls to his right. And on these low angles, it's a tight angle. You got to pick a spot, and he puts it right above the bar. And Cal Poly, with 3 minutes to go left in the first quarter, punched in the mouth. And Chris, you're exactly right. There's just an extra level of intensity from Santa Barbara. They're finishing plays. And with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, Santa Barbara dominating the ball, a little bit better on the clears, and Cal Poly on a couple dodges have thrown the ball into the ground and haven't really had a possession.
Yep, we saw some first quarter jitters in our D2 matchup earlier today. I'm seeing first quarter jitters out of Cal Poly, but Santa Barbara, no jitters. They look very sharp. And they looked sharp yesterday as well, dispatching the Bears of Berkeley.
I'm impressed with Santa Barbara's dodging right now. They're just, especially for number 10, Brandon, they're just running through checks. They're running through the body of Cal Poly. They've had some good looks. And Cal Poly's defense has been on the field for quite a while. I think fatigue is playing a bit of a role here. Cal Poly needs a possession. They need to eat up that shot clock, settle back into the game, because they really haven't had much of the ball in this first quarter.
Yeah.
Kudos to Santa Barbara with just a very strong start in
and
this
you can
first
tell
quarter.
with the emotion of this game. So, Cal Poly calls that early timeout. You hear those timeout whistles. The Santa Barbara bench goes wild, right? They recognize, hey, we rattled them a little bit. So if you're the Gauchos, getting this next one is big to keep them down. If you're Cal Poly, getting a goal here is massively important to reaffirm that, you know what, hey, we still can play with these guys. Double team is coming from Brannon, but a good job from Siegel. Great play from Santa Barbara. That's a planned, practiced play in the face-off game, recognizing we could pressure a D midi. They might sub a guy off. We've got an extra one. Let's try and work a double. Brannon with it again. We're going to be calling his name a lot today, I think. Brannon trying to get past a couple of attackmen, and Miko with a yard sale. Cal Poly's got numbers, 3-on-2. Miko to Waterman. Waterman to Sanders. Sanders misses wide. Oh, and that's one he's going to be thinking about for a long time here, pending the result of this game.
Great ride, well executed 3-on-2 up until the shot. It's one of those where you have so much time, you overthink it, you're an attackman. Sometimes you just want to react, and you got to bury those. You got to bury those in a championship game. Those are those goals that you're going to look back on and say, we lost by one. Those are the ones you want back.
Princeton dodges the alley. Ball swings through X back to Sanders. Sanders up to Murray Osborne. Murray Osborne to his left. Thought about it for a second. Found Sanders instead. Sanders goes kind of low to low there.
Deep shot right there. Maybe
Deep
lucky.
shot.
Maybe
Schwab-
lucky to miss it. We'll call that a possession shot. It's going to be a hard one to fall from that far away.
Yeah, Schwab was all over it, and again, the ball just falling out of the stick of the Mustangs. Marked by Chang. Skip through, finds Miko. Miko tries for it, misses left.
Nice hesitation dodge from Miko, leaning that shoulder in, getting the hands free. But at some point, Cal Poly's got to hit cage. There's quite a few shots sailing wide.
Princeton up to Sanders. Sanders tried to thread one through to Mikolajewski on the far side. There to pick it off was Dwelly.
There are about 3 Santa Barbara sticks in that lane. I'm not sure
I don't think
what
that
was
pass
there.
is getting through in many of these alternate universes here. Nice clear from the Gauchos.
Do we believe in possible world theories here during this broadcast in alternate universes?
Let's talk at the corner there, Carl.
Okay, philosophy corner later in the game.
Sam Nash on the field for the Gauchos, working with Dwelly and Schwartz. 40 seconds left in the shot clock. Looked like they were settling for a second there, but just making sure things were their ducks in a row. Dwelly to Nash. Nash dodging this alley again here. That seems to be their game plan is let's dodge these alleys and then let's work behind it. Good movement up top. Dwelly getting his left hand free, going for one more inside to Udolph. Udolph nearly able to put it on net. We got 17 seconds left in the shot clock. Here's Berger. Berger dodges low, rolls back high, gets to his right, gets to the middle, gets a shot off. Just misses wide. I don't know if that's going to merit a reset. It does not. There's 2 seconds, so Menendez will dump it in the corner. So quality looks for the Gauchos, unable to put one on net, and it's going to be a shot clock violation going to the Mustangs.
Great look for Berger there, getting top side. Cal Poly got to bring the slide there with so few time on the shot clock. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. I'd send that guy early, force Santa Barbara to make the extra pass.
Yep. We got 25 seconds in the first quarter here. Cal Poly looking to hold for one. Gets it to Murray Osborne. Murray Osborne left to right. Back to Mikolajewski. Jeski with the hitch right there. High pass to Kramer. Kramer wrangles it in, gets a lefty shot off, misses it. Backed up by the Mustangs with 5 seconds left. The clock is still running. Now it's 4 seconds. You just got to feed the crease here, hope something happens. Murray Osborne has it. I haven't heard a horn yet. Shot would not have counted either way. That finishes our first quarter here at Los Gatos High School with the Gauchos up 3-1 over the Mustangs of Cal Poly. This has been a great game so far.
Yeah, love the intensity so far. Santa Barbara up on faceoffs, better clearing percentage right now, less turnovers, and it reflects in the score up 3-1. I like the way Santa Barbara has been dodging. It's been decisive. It's been strong. They haven't been getting cute with it. Cal Poly trying to force some tight passes off the midi dodge. The passes haven't been in the box. I'd like to see Sanders and Mikolajewski get going on some dodges. When you look at their points total, those are their scores. They haven't really had the ball in their stick a whole lot. They've gotten some shots off, but again, credit to Santa Barbara coming out really strong and taking a little foothold in this first quarter here.
Yeah, 15 minutes in, and it seems like Mike Allen's game plan a little bit better than that of the Cal Poly Mustangs to this point. Still lots of game to play. Don't get me wrong, but their offense is on point. They're running that two-man game, which is creating confusion, right? When you've got a player of Menendez's status, you're always going to have confusion. Are we staying? Are we switching? Do we want to get a double? Do we just want to go through? You want to go high? You want to go low? All those options create hesitation. And hesitation is taken advantage of when Menendez turns his corner hard, he puts his head down, or if you're hesitating on the switch, maybe we're popping off that pick, right? And we've seen at least one of their goals directly off that two-man game, but it's something that Cal Poly is constantly going to have to think about.
Menendez, 41 goals, 14 assists. After watching him in this first quarter, he's got his head up. He looks like a feeder. It's shocking that he only has 14 assists on the year. I know a lot of attackmen like to get theirs, and they like to stuff up the goals on the stat sheet, but Cal Poly's defense is sloughed in when he's got the ball, and that led to one of those goals. And again, Brannon for Santa Barbara's looked great up and down, great speed. What I like about what Santa Barbara's doing, they have a lot of their athletes in space, and Cal Poly's been late to slide. Almost like there isn't a whole lot of respect for some of those dodges up top because, again, Santa Barbara's getting topside, which is huge. They just haven't been able to bang a few in there.
Yeah, it's respect or lack of respect for the Dodgers, or is it faith in your on-ball defenders, right? Competing philosophies there. Cal Poly slow to slide, trusting their defenders. Santa Barbara making them pay here. We got an infraction going against the Mustangs. Ball's going to go to the Gauchos. Opportunity there for a little transition there, but nicely recovered was the Cal Poly defense. Here's Fisk. Fisk is one of my favorite guys to watch, man. He's a spark plug. Cochler working it over. Ball finds the ground, bounces, rolling around. Good kick out to Dwelly.
Another one of those 50-50 balls to go to Santa Barbara. I want to avoid the
big skip high. Fisk thought about stepping into one. Pulls it out. Fisk down the left side. He scored on the right side earlier. Gets to his strong hand and finishes. Ryan Fisk, second of the day for the senior out of Davis. And just a great job. He's shown his ability to score from the low angle. So you're on ball. Let's watch. That's Siegel for the Mustangs on ball. Okay, he's going left, he's going alley. Oh, he might take that shot. Let's sell out. And then Fisk just puts his foot in the ground, spins back to the middle, and goes low on Chu. Yeah,
when you get to a spot like that on the middle of the field, you got to earn it. And that's just strong downhill dodge with the left hand. The slide's coming, but with a hard rollback, again, hands free, great location, great goal. Chris, you called it. Feel 30 seconds before you said, I like this Fisk guy. He's always making something happen, and he goes on for a nice goal there.
Oh. We have a stick is attached to the helmet of a Gauchos player. Maybe there's an argument there that there could have been a slash called. I mean, there is a clear stick-to-helmet contact. Nonetheless, Brannon, who recently just dislodged a helmet from his stick from his helmet strap, he's got the ball on the offensive end. Dodge to the right side is Dwelly. Dwelly inside to Cochler. Cochler misses wide. That's just another, example of how Santa Barbara is pushing tempo.
They've got Cal Poly on their heels. They're just in lacrosse. There's the flow of the game, and Santa Barbara has taken control of this flow. They are finding a rhythm in this game, and if I were Cal Poly, I'd think about a timeout here to talk to the team. It is only 4-1, but Santa Barbara is just looking the part here to win the WCLL early in the second quarter.
Yep. If you had two timeouts still, maybe now's a good time for it. But right, you used that one early. Yeah. If I'm Coach Werder, I'm holding on to it just in case I need it later in the half.
Good point. If they had two timeouts, yeah, it would be a good time. But hold on to this one.
Santa Barbara right into it. Udolph dodging the left wing. Skip backside. Good stick from Collins to tip the ball out of bounds as the pass was headed towards Cochler.
Risky pass there. What's the risk reward to make that skip all the way across with the defender in the passing lane?
Cochler gets a step. Back up to Thomas. Here goes, that's actually Declan Schwartz, number 7, who dodged down the alley those last two times. Menendez, good recovery work from Rakos for the Stangs. Dwelly on the righty. Nice save from Chu right there, and that's a big one. That's a confidence booster for the Cal Poly keeper. That's a confidence booster for the Cal Poly defense. Now you have to clear the ball.
Huge stop from Cal Poly. Big save. Some saves are not all created equal, and that was a huge one. But here again, turnover for Cal Poly on the clear. Excuse me.
Yep, and I'll watch it next time, but I don't know that Santa Barbara is doing anything spectacular in the ride. I think they're just doing a good job running their zones. And that is Zane Schwab clearing it himself, drawing a slashing penalty. So we have a free possession for the Gauchos. Schwab yesterday, showing his athleticism. He is not afraid to push up the field with the ball in his stick. He's quick, he's got a handle, and he's smart with it in space. Recognizing free possession. Let's set something up here. This is a definite set play. You've got a big little action if you want it for Cochler. Very nice design right there, and that's just a mumbo right there. That is a term that most lacrosse teams know. Okay, we've got a dodger up high. We've got 4 across the middle. Dodge side guy, we're gonna go in and set a seal on the inside. Watch Menendez pop from the crease. And he just sneaks one low past Chu. There's the seal inside. Menendez came out of it and goes 5-hole on Chu. Menendez with the goal, assisted by that was Cochler with the assist.
Great shot by Menendez there. It's not the speed of the shot always. That was just the quick release.
Well, I think that was a pretty quick shot.
Yeah. But it's just extremely in and out of his stick. Worm burner. Chu, again, changing eyes off the pass. That's just a tough save to make when the ball's moving that quickly and it's getting out of Menendez's stick.
Yep, free possession, and they get net a goal. So penalty is still assessed. A 1-minute slash on Sanders, but Cal Poly wins the faceoff. Guy Lyons with it. Guy Lyons goes for it, had a shot at it. Shot was high, bouncing around for a little bit, so that's Schwab with the save, and rolling around is Brannon. Brannon drawing another flag here after the high hit from Waterman. Cal Poly showing their frustration on the field right now.
Brannon's been all over the place, and another huge ground ball.
Ooh, Menendez tried to make a statement right there. So we're going to have another flag going against Cal Poly. That should be Waterman for unnecessary roughness. Let's see what the refs decide here as far as how long this penalty should be.
There's definitely a possibility of that being 3 minutes. That was hand separated high and late, and just an easy call for the refs, and maybe one of those frustration fouls.
Didn't help that Brandon's helmet came off too. Hit to the head, 2 minutes, locked up. So Santa Barbara already with a 4-goal lead with a chance to blow this game open early.
Cal Poly 2-man down here. 2 in the box.
2 in the box. Time on the first penalty. It was a slash. They won the face-off. They got in there. I'd say there's probably like 30 seconds or so on the first penalty. So we'll have 30 seconds-ish, 2-man up, and then the remaining time on that 2-minute penalty will just be, of course, 1-man advantage. 2-man up for the Gauchos. Pretty spread out here. Look for them to constrict. Cochler steps in over to Fisk. Fisk with his third of the day off the assist from Cochler. And just when there's that much space, right, it's all about just floating into it and catching it ready to shoot.
Yeah, great shot by Fisk there. High to low. Nice, decisive bouncer there. 6-on-4. I'm not going to complain about the shot because it was
Well, what I really liked there, and we saw it on the replays, you had a cut through from Berger. That cut through adjacent, the defense had to crash on that cut a little bit, which opened space up for Fisk with the lefty shot.
Yeah, it's one of those where if you miss it wide or they make a save, the coach always plays the result and says, we can get something better. But the way Fisk has been playing, the movement, the step down, that's a pretty darn good look, even on a 6-on-4.
So first penalties released there from the goal. Obviously, the 2-minute non-releasable hit to the head by Waterman, he's still serving that penalty. So another man-down face here, or a man-up face if you're the Gauchos. Good win through his legs was Brannon. Able to scoop it up is Fisk. Fisk to Brannon. Brannon wants one. Chu knocks it high. Good save from Chu here as Santa Barbara is going to have a settle into their man-up set, and Coach Allen calls for a timeout, making sure we can get our man-up unit out there, making sure we can capitalize on this full-time penalty.
Cal Poly just looking out of sorts right now. Even on that face-off, it's going to be a 6-on-5, and they're playing way upfield, and they lose the ground ball, and then it's a 6-on-4 fast break.
And
Lucky
guess
for Santa
who
Barbara.
coming out of there?
Brandon draws the penalty. Tons of huge ground balls. This game's all connected. Santa Barbara's winning the hustle plays. Then they're finding the flow and the rhythm in their offense, and they've been smothering Cal Poly for the first 20 minutes of this game here.
Yep. Of note here, I'm seeing Brandon behind the scorer's table with his helmet off, just hanging out in the shade a little bit. He's working a lot. Maybe he just needs a breather. I'm hoping he's not being checked out for an injury to the head or anything like that. He's talking with the trainer back there. So Jake Brandon, for the time being, he's being evaluated. We'll keep you updated.
Hopefully it's just precautionary. You hate to see a player of his caliber go out so early in this game.
Man-up opportunity for the Gauchos. Looks like we've got a minute 24 remaining here, and that minute 24 will be completely served with the man advantage due to the unreleasable foul.
Yeah, just going back, that's a tough penalty for Cal Poly. 2 minutes, unreleasable, and this is a part in the game where Santa Barbara can blow it wide open here with 80 seconds left of an unreleasable penalty, so they can make things happen really quickly here.
Berger to Cochler. Cochler over to Fisk. Santa Barbara employing a 1-4-1 set. Look for them to change sets here as they do. Carey with a little movement. Finds Dwelly. Cochler over to Fisk. Fisk down low. Cochler up top finds Dwelly. Dwelly tried to get one to Menendez. Knocked down Will Rackos for the Mustangs, but harassed by Dwelly and Menendez. They're able to create that turnover. Cochler with it up top. 45 seconds remaining in this penalty. With another chance to capitalize. Man up. Ball works behind, a couple cutters going through. Fisk with it, now up to Cochler. Cochler back to Fisk. Is Fisk going to get his fourth? Oh, Chu says not today, not right now at least. Big save for the Mustangs. However, they are still down a man, and they've been struggling to clear even when they've been even. Great pressure there from Andrew Smith, senior attackman for the Gauchos. Failure to advance called by the far side official there. I thought the ball may have been over the midline, but I'm not a shot clock. I haven't been working with the shot clock for too long here. So another failed clear from the Mustangs. We do have even lacrosse, however. The penalty did get released. Cal Poly throwing a little pressure as Santa Barbara working in the sub game. A diving check from the Mustangs. Ball's in the air, picked up by Dwelly. Dwelly just missed high.
Stick protection from the Cal Poly defense has been really lax.
Pretty suspect, yeah. And right here's a chance. Oh, if they had the quick restart, Cal Poly was not ready to play. Menendez operating with Cochler and a big little. Menendez gets a step, chasing a over-the-head check and sliding around as Menendez getting a shot off, draws the push, and Cal Poly spending much of this second quarter in the penalty box.
Let's watch that replay if there is one on that Menendez backhand. That looks like he may have been falling down. Maybe a tough break for Cal Poly there, but when you're aggressive.
I think he was falling down because he was pushed, Corbo.
Here's my Cal Poly. See, each of the Cal Poly announcers up in the booth got to keep each other honest with the homerism here. But regardless, when you have that kind of dodging hard, good things happen, and you make sure.
John, what were you saying there?
Well, good things happen when you're dodging hard like Menendez there.
Yeah. Cochler to Fisk. Man, the ball just moves so much faster for Santa Barbara's offense. And they're getting these skips, and a skip to Menendez hits the side of the net. Now they are still a man up, are the Gauchos. We don't have the timer on there, but it was a 30-second penalty, and it just released. So we're 6-on-6. Cochler with the shorty matchup. Cochler going against a freshman for the Mustangs, Nijme. Cochler shakes to his left, rolls back to his right at X. Thought about a skip through. Elects to hold on to it. Try again. Left split. Turns a corner. Ball dislodged. It's on the ground here. Still on the ground. Good pressure. I mean, I count 5 blue jerseys to 2 white jerseys on that ground ball. Cal Poly, did enough to force a shot clock violation. But from an effort standpoint, Santa Barbara sending 5 guys at this ground ball. Cal Poly only has 2. Maybe that's a factor of getting burned on the backside earlier in the game. But, Santa Barbara's just playing faster, and they look like they want it a whole lot more right now.
And it's another one of those defenders of Cal Poly. They win the ground ball, but then it just pops out of their stick, whether it's stick protection or a loose cradle. When you pick up that ground ball, you got to secure it.
Yeah, well, and that's what the Santa Barbara fans are saying here. Is they're saying there should have been a shot clock reset, as they thought the Cal Poly defender did have possession. Refs thought otherwise, and Kramer for the Mustangs is going to go for a dodge down the left alley here. Rolls back to his left, takes a shot there, and if you're Cal Poly, you haven't had the ball for a long amount of time here, and you got a dodge from the top middle. The goalie's watching you the whole time. Yeah, you roll back to the middle. You get a bit of a favorable angle, but there's one guy had the ball that whole possession.
One of those on the sideline, you're telling your teammates, hey, we're not going to get it all back at once here. And that was one dodge, not a single pass. And that just can't happen when your defense has been on the field for an eternity.
Nash works it over to Thomas. Thomas back to Nash. Nash takes a shot there. Chu eats it up. And that's another big save. Lucas Chu for the Mustangs doing everything he can to keep his team in it. Clearing up field, finds Spivey. Follows with Princeton up top. Princeton over to Murray Osborne. Osborne to Iwasaki. Dodging out of this kind of 1-3-2. Iwasaki maybe had a step for a second, but good pressure from the Gauchos. Tegan Smith skipped through to Sanders. Sanders using a pick from Princeton. Sanders with the shorty matchup, rolls around back to Princeton. Princeton one more over to Murray Osborne. Osborne swims. Great defense and footwork right there for the Gauchos. Tight feet inside, trying to get it to Waterman was Miklajeski. Cal Poly still with it, works over to Sanders. Sanders to the middle, back to his right, rolls left. Great defense again. Oh, just fell down. Was the on-ball defense from Zen Chang.
Great effort by Sanders, leaning, spinning, twirling, just trying to get a little separation, and just could not get that one to go.
Yeah, but we have a flag down on the field, so Santa Barbara going to be serving some time here. Looks like it's going to be a slash on Chang. So for Cal Poly, an opportunity to settle back into this game. If you can get one right here, 2-6 is a whole lot different than 1-6 for obvious reasons. But you're doing a lot for your confidence if you can score right here.
One of the first extended possessions of the game for Cal Poly that lasted longer than 60 seconds, and they draw a man up out of it.
Miklajeski skips through. One more to Waterman. Ball dislodged. I don't know if that one more pass was necessary.
Just too late.
Great play from senior LSM Brendan Casey of the Gauchos to get there. Understanding, hey, Cal Poly, they like to throw this cross-crease feed. Cal Poly going to get tabbed for going off sides. they got to be careful that they send the right person over. So the flag is for offsides. So you already went offsides one time. You might as well stay offsides. They can send that 7th player down. Another flag thrown, though. So they did. They put the wrong player on the field to go play as that 7th defender. Now they're going to find themselves 2-man down.
Yeah, I believe it was Mikolajewski that was offside, right? And he was looking.
It was interesting. He went offsides. He went out of bounds up here, came back inbounds onside. When he went out of bounds, they did have 3 back. Because I was watching, I was thinking the same thing. But Chu, whoa. Chu made this save. Cockler almost gets a little tennis goal right there. Very curious to see what is assessed here against the Mustangs.
So I'm going to defer to the head coach of Los Gatos High, Chris Nespor. Chris, can you send a different guy than the guy that was offsides? Or does that mean 2 players are now offsides?
That'd be 2 players down. The flag is on an individual for going offsides, right? So we have 2 players going offsides. We have White offsides technical for 3rd. We have White offsides technical for 3rd. I didn't see a number on either of those. But looking at the bench here, maybe it's just no. We got 2 men down over here. So I see Mikolajewski is in the box. I think it's going to be 5. I don't need to figure out who the second one is on. But what the coach for Cal Poly is frustrated by is the fact that maybe they didn't tell them who it was that went offsides. You know what? I've never seen a ref change his mind. And so I guess he's just looking for a little clarity right here.
I'm not sure exactly what they're arguing about because, I mean, as an ex-attackman, if you go offsides and you see the flag, you just run on and, are the double team. It's pretty simple unless there's confusion on who they called as offsides or whether or not the refs mix it up or the coach mix it up. But we're up here in the box and we aren't sure, just like the fans at home watching.
You have 2 separate players. I can't show you that right now in the game, but that's
Coach Werder upset. I think a lot of times teams play or they feed off their coach's energy here. So see a shift there, less palms upright and more encouragement, getting these guys to play smart and execute the way that they have for most of this season. And frankly, the way Santa Barbara is right now. So the Gauchos will settle into another 2-man up situation. They scored last time off a feed from Cockler over to Fisk. Fisk not on the field right now. A different set here, but it still started with a cut from Berger. Working over to Dwelly. Dwelly down to Menendez. Menendez near pipe, sneaks it past Chu. Just quick ball movement, right? Especially 2-man down. If you move the ball quickly, the defense can't rotate to it.
Great shot by Menendez there. That's just, again, a 40-goal scorer making a play. The little extra stick protection here as he's rotating, bananaing up. You just see how he kind of drops those hands, the stick's behind him, shielded by his chest, and a quick little snap. It comes up early and quickly on a goalie, and that's too much to handle.
Overpowers Chu. So Menendez with his 2nd of the day.
And I was about to say,
assist.
Just a lot of self-inflicted wounds. 2 6-on-4s for Santa Barbara the last 8 minutes of this second quarter. So
Brannon wins faceoff again cleanly to himself, starting to clear behind. That's Schwab, back to Brannon. Brannon, accurate feed to get the clear in the offensive end. And again, back to Brannon. Brannon's just playing catch out here today.
Yeah, Brandon's a heck of a player. Face off, 30 to 30 midi, and can get you a bucket too. It's great to have a player like that can do so much and touch many areas of the game.
Menendez up to Nash. Dwelly with it now. On the far side, going for a little bit of a leaner action there. Just hit a pipe was Thomas. Santa Barbara doing what they do and kind of re-dodging off of 1 shot, 2 shot. Dwelly almost came up with the opportunity for a 3rd shot right there. We have interference against Cal Poly, so the ball's going back to the Gauchos.
Strong dodge by Dwelly with the truck stick. I mean, these Santa Barbara middies just look bigger and stronger today.
Yeah, and Dwelly just lowering his shoulder right there. Dwelly listed 6'3", 190 out of Folsom. So that size, right? If you're a 6'3" guy and you can get a shoulder into someone, yeah, it's coming with some power.
Yeah, those Jesuit guys are some big boys. Good football team, good rugby team.
Got the cross team. Nash with it. Has a shorty matchup. Nash dodging left. Menendez with a nice handle. Skips through. Ball knocked down there by Jake Brown of the Mustangs. Nice ground ball from Kobach, but another failed clear. Inability to connect on a clearing pass. Ball scooted forward by Waterman. Good job by Schwab to come out of the cage there, getting the ground ball. And here Schwab showing off his athleticism, showing off his comfort, baiting Waterman. Surprised the flag wasn't thrown right there. Mikolajeski, we have 3 seconds left in the quarter. And that ends our first half here. A little bit of chaos, again, caused by sloppy play in the clearing game by the Mustangs. And credit to the Gauchos, they're riding hard. We've talked about it, this whole half. Their effort is one step, many steps higher than the effort of Cal Poly right now, and the scoreboard reflects that.
Yeah, you take a look at the scoreboard. Santa Barbara's up 7-1. And you're going to look at the stats, and it's going to be dominated by Santa Barbara. But the reality is, when you look at their offensive possessions, it's much cleaner. The spacing's better. Their dodges are decisive. Then it's starting to spiral out of control for Cal Poly. They're starting to make some mental mistakes. 2 in the first half, 6-on-4 man-ups for Santa Barbara, and you're being outplayed. If I'm Cal Poly, I'm looking at the score. Again, you're lucky that you're down 7-1. This could be worse. You look at the quality of shots Santa Barbara's had. It's been all Santa Barbara this first half.
Yep. Well, we'll see if that continues or changes. We've got 30 minutes left in WCLL Division I final action. Again, a spot in this year's national tournament on the line. Santa Barbara with an early lead. We'll see you in the third quarter.
That's what artificial intelligence is for, all right? They don't make mistakes. We
Welcome back to the second half of today's WCLL Division I final, where we have Cal Poly against Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara opening up a 7-1 lead, and frankly, it could be a lot more. The Gauchos displaying their firepower on the offensive end, but also showing how much of a two-way team they are. They're pushing transition. The effort on both sides of the ball is seen in Jake Brandon, is seen in Ryan Fisk. Those guys, getting stops, clearing it themselves. Brandon getting a face-off, clearing it himself, and then attacking on the offensive end. The Gauchos looking real good right now, and looking obviously as the favorites to take the automatic qualifier for this year's national tournament as the WCLL champions. However, there are still 30 minutes left to play, and Cal Poly, they are the one seed in this tournament. These teams met earlier this year, where Cal Poly won by 2 goals. So they have confidence. They have something to fall back on. However, they are shaken right now.
Lacrosse is a game of runs. There's ebbs and flows, and if you're Cal Poly and you're talking to the team at the first half, you need to make your run. You need to make it happen, and that starts with the minutia of the game. And you brought up Jake Brannon, and he's been dominant the 30-30. He's winning every ground ball. He's controlling the game. That can't happen for Cal Poly in the second half if they want to get back into this game and make their run. They got to be cleaner on ground balls. They got to be cleaner with the clear. And if they can do those two things, they have a chance to getting back in this game. If they can't, and if Brandon's going to be his dominant self that first half, it's an uphill battle for Cal Poly.
Yep, and we're not tracking face-off stats up here, unfortunately, but Brannon has won, most of these face-offs, and that time Lions wins the draw, wins the clamp, but none other than Ryan Fisk coming through on the wing for the Gauchos, getting Santa Barbara the first possession of this third quarter. Brandon with it up top. Going to take a shorty down low, work a little bit of two-man game here, which we saw a lot in the first quarter. Gets back to Brandon. Brandon turns the corner. Stick checked, but Brandon still had the ball. Tried to dump it, does dump it to his teammate. That's just a great play from Jake Brandon there, scooping it up, throwing it over his shoulder. Didn't really know where his teammate was, but trusted that there was someone there. And Cochler taking a shot off of some confusion for the Cal Poly defense, bring it right off the face mask of Lucas Chu. Backed up by the Gauchos.
Great start for Santa Barbara, clean face-off win and a great possession, and they get the restart off the shot off Chu's face mask.
Fisk works the ball through X. Dodging the far side was Becerra. Cochler skips through to Fisk. Fisk looking for number 4. Finds it. That's the third or fourth time they've beaten Chu near pipe. But I think they've got a scout.
You cycle the ball a couple times around. You move the ball. You get the extra possession off the face mask. And look at where Fisk is getting the ball on this dodge. Look where he is. He's right at the 25. He makes a quick little right-to-right move. Great athlete. And when a great athlete gets the ball in a good space to dodge, normally something great happens, and that's another goal with some great placement from Fisk. Fisk, have yourself a day.
And he's starting his dodge at the hash here, right? We're on a football field. Let's use some markers. He's starting his dodge at the hash, and then he finishes it inside the hash. So he's dodging down the alley, he's getting a step, and he's bending it back inside. Obviously went near pipe right there, but just putting himself in a situation to succeed. I'm going to stay talking on Fisk here. On the season, 7-3, 7 goals, 3 assists. He had 1 goal, 1 assist yesterday. He has 4 goals today. He's almost matched his point total for the year just this weekend.
Yeah, when you have a guy that had 7 goals coming into the season, and he's got a couple today in the championship game, that is found money there.
Santa Barbara, again, causing chaos in the defensive end. Ball bounces, luckily, to a stick of the Mustangs. I should say they are lucky that the ball bounced that way to keep their possession. Here's Kramer. Going for a run, gets a step. Spins it back to Sanders. Sanders over to Murray Osborne. Murray Osborne with a swim. Tried to do one too many moves there as then Chang denies him. Princeton back to his right. Princeton draws a double from Chang to Mikolajeski behind. Miko just unable to get a step on Gomez. Gomez really proving why he's a first-team defender right here. 20 seconds in the shot clock. Murray Osborne with it, rolling right. Skip through to Miko. Miko to Waterman. 10 seconds. Typically you have a play drawn up for a low time in the shot clock. Nico's got it. Gonna feed inside, force one in there. Good save right there from Schwab. But a great job from Cal Poly to get a shot off, and a quality shot at that. Schwab just turns it away.
What a D-stick right there by Brendan Casey. Great patience. Sanders shows a little too much of that stick.
Here goes Gomez. Gomez, nice dump to Smith. And Cochler with it, finding Dwelly.
And when you get a big stop like that, Santa Barbara up 7, just take the air out of the game. Every stop you get, burn 20, 30 seconds before you go, and try to take an even stronger hold of this lead.
Dwelly down the alley, skips across, good handle inside. Chu makes the save off the shot from Thomas. Thomas fell in the crease there, so it'll stay Cal Poly ball off the save. But just continue to be impressed by the Santa Barbara's offense. They're so fast. They push one side, swing it through X, and they've just got guys everywhere on the field that can make plays. Close to being offsides right there. Santa Barbara, I guess, is offsides.
And they're just a comfort when it comes to Santa Barbara and their looks after the dodge. It just feels like they know who they're going to, when to re-dodge, when to make that risky pass to a cutter. Cal Poly has yet to find that today.
Santa Barbara's 7th man comes on. That's Berger. Let's see if he was the correct one to put on. When you've got that 7th guy, you can play kind of like a backer, right? You're an auto slide.
Free slide.
So you could be a little more aggressive on ball, understanding that no matter what, you have a slide behind you and you're not giving up position elsewhere. Waterman against Chang. Waterman gets a pick from Miko. Skips through to Kramer. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Pass goes low, unable to collect it, and Schwab picks it up. So we'll assess this penalty. It's going to be offsides on the Gauchos. So Cal Poly will man up for 30 seconds.
And time is starting to tick away. 6 minutes into this third quarter. If now is a time for a goal, it's on this man advantage. If Cal Poly doesn't get one here, they're going to have to put the gas pedal down and try to make something happen because time is not on their side in this second half.
It is, in fact, Berger serving the offsides penalty for the Gauchos. Cal Poly running a bit of a 4-2 set, trying to skip through to Kramer on the backside. Pass just too high to handle. Santa Barbara's going to clear. And Cal Poly, you have a man advantage here, so you should be really locking off guys. Sanders walks into a ground ball.
Cal Poly extremely fortunate to get that one back.
Miko with it, skips across. I think he was going to Osborne on the far side. Sanders thought it was going to him and tips it high. Shot out of a cannon is Cochler. He looked quick right there. Cochler marked by Johnson. Brannon back on the field. Marked by Griffin Wilson, sophomore out of San Diego. Fisk on the far side. Right to left split. Turned back. Did he get that shot off, or did the ball just squeak out of there with some tempo? Unsure. Collins with it. Back to Chu. Chu over to Rakos. Efficient clear from Cal Poly there. For maybe the first time today, that was a comfortable clear.
Yeah, bottle that one up and save it. That's how a clear is supposed to look. Couple quick, sharp passes, find the open man.
Murray Osborne down the alley, tries to get to his right, through to Miko. Miko settles it. Continue to be impressed by Gomez, man. Senior, Senior out of Carlsbad.
Really sound defense today.
Good shake from Kai Iwasaki. Waterman looking to skip it inside. I don't really know where he was going. Fisk read it the whole way. Pushing transition. You've got a 5-on-4. Fisk trying to do it all himself right there for goal number 5. Lucas Chu makes a save. Ball stays or goes back to Cal Poly.
Seems like this lead is getting in Cal Poly's head a little bit based on some of these forced passes. This is what happens when you're having a tough time beating your man. Santa Barbara's playing great 6-on-6D. When that first dodge, that second dodge isn't there, some players feel like they need to resort to a force, even if there's still a little time in the shot clock. But give credit to Santa Barbara's 6-on-6D today.
Yeah, and Cal Poly recently, they've been a team that likes to feed the crease. And when your timing is on, it looks great. When your timing is off, you really struggle, right? And I think Santa Barbara's doing a great job of cluttering up the crease there. And just as I say that, let's have a step down instead. So Sanders gets on the board for the Mustangs. Just their second goal of the day as that ball worked back high off the dodge. So that was Kramer with the dodge. Up to Spencer Zink, freshman from Denver, and Sanders goes side to high, finding the near post.
Simple formula, draw and dump, and find your 30-plus goal scorer on Sanders, and Sanders not wasting any time, burying it in the upper left corner of the goal there.
If you're Cal Poly, you're happy with that. If you're Santa Barbara, you really don't mind it. You're still up 6, right? That's a goal that they had to work for it. One of Cal Poly, they're dodging. They're moving it twice to a goal scorer. They haven't done that much today. So let's learn from that if you're the Gauchos. Let's prevent it from happening again. And let's move on knowing, hey, this lead is still very comfortable for us.
Now, Cal Poly's got a little chaos. They could push it here even though they don't have numbers. And Sanders probably wisely pulls that out and gets their offensive personnel out there.
Waterman. Murray Osborne to Zink.
If I'm Cal Poly, I'm looking at that score, or as a Cal Poly fan, like, let's get this to 8-4 going into the fourth quarter, and we'll give ourselves a chance.
Kramer spins back, tries to find Sanders. Sanders goes low to low from about 18. And yes, you're going to need a better shot than that to beat Schwab. Schwab, earning third team All-League WCLL as a goalie. He played better than that yesterday. He's playing better than that today. But I think he feels a little slighted. I actually overheard him on the sidelines yesterday saying that he thinks he maybe should have been first team. And of course, you should think that about yourself. And he is showing that to us this weekend. Menendez with it. Running a little clock. Up 6 goals, just over 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Schwartz going to go for a run against Zink. Down the right alley. Pass through X was locked off there, so that's a little bit of a different look from the Cal Poly defense. But here we go, Brannon. Brannon to Dwelly. Dwelly dodging on Hickman. Back to Schwartz. And pass goes wide. So big stop if you're the Mustangs. Still a productive possession for the Gauchos, right? The shot clock was down almost to below 5 seconds, so you took time off of the clock, and right now taking time off is what you need. And especially when Cal Poly's struggling to clear like that, you're fine. Take an 80-second possession, let them try to clear. Cal Poly had a man open in the middle of the field, and they're just, rushing, it seems.
When your defense gets an 80-second shot clock stop there, and you're just passing it between defenders and a goalie. I mean, there's nothing you can say there, but that's just the backbreaker for your team, and it's not championship lacrosse there.
Nope. Good moves from Cochler. Draws a slide. Good recovery from the defense. Brandon on the near side. Through to Menendez. Menendez in his left hand. Cochler. Sorry, not Cochler. That's Berger over there. Brandon at X. Now it's Cochler. Berger tries to turn a corner. Skip high to Brandon. Brandon, hands free. Good trail check there by Cal Poly's Cole Spivey. Chu saves the shot.
Yeah, Spivey, you're just reaching for something. You get beat. You're just hoping you can get something on the guy and slow that shot down.
Another
That's
very,
exactly
very
what he did.
sketchy clear for Cal Poly. Mika Lejeski showing off his reliable handle as he kind of caught that jumping through 3 Gaucho defenders. Again, and you guys are watching from home. It looks like there are guys open in the middle of the field. They're just not looking there. Eubanks to Sanders. Sanders back to Eubanks. Eubanks takes a shot, rings it either off the goalie or the pipe. It's backed up by the Gauchos. It's going to be blue ball.
And that's the first team all-league, Jacob Gomez, looking alert. Fortuitous bounce there, kind of coming off the side of the cross, but still, hey, you got to have a defender head on a swivel ready to back that one up.
Great clear right there from sophomore Camden Dwelly. Basically cleared through the entire attack line of the Mustangs. Santa Barbara willing to keep pushing. Good feed inside. Dwelly to 15. Connor Udolph putting his mark on this game. And they just caught Cal Poly in a bad sub right there. Continue to push it after clearing, right? They clear through the attack. Sometimes some teams are like, okay, now they're going to settle. Nope, we're going to keep going. Cochler works it to Dwelly. Dwelly, nice feed inside and a great handle from Udolph. Dwelly, his second assist on the day.
One of those slow breaking, fast breaks off the bad step substitution. Couple middies moving the ball.
Slow break.
Slow break. Yeah, I'm a little rusty there. But again, Santa Barbara, the calmness, the patience on that slow break, and making Cal Poly pay on a poor substitution.
Santa Barbara up 9-2 in this D1 final, and just an uncharacteristic ground ball play from Joe Johnson there. Like we know him as a reliable player. He doesn't come up with it, and that's been the story of the game. And it resulted in another good look for the Gauchos. Just missing wide.
Shot clock's now off. Another big face-off win for Brandon. More Santa Barbara in the third quarter.
Brandon, good job keeping that ball on the offensive end. Brandon just likes contact, man. You see him lower shoulder into that. Just accept it. Doesn't phase him.
It's a guy you watch on the field and say, oh, he played football. Had to have played football.
Oh, just an all-or-nothing check there from Brackos. Missed on the attempt at the interception. And Menendez, gets past that first check and no one comes. He's probably surprised by how open he was, and he puts it home.
Yeah, watch on the replay. Lazy reach there. A little bit of a lazy kind of check. Hail Mary check. When you do that and you get sloppy on a guy of Menendez caliber, you're gonna pay. I'm sure he'll be an All-American when those are released. And when you do those kind of maneuvers, he is a player that's gonna put it in the back of the net.
Menendez, just the 19th player in Santa Barbara history to notch 100 points in his career. So fantastic work, not just this year, but your entire career, Lucas Menendez. And he's got one more year left. Backup awarded to Chu and the Mustangs. Home run shot here. We got 4 seconds left in the quarter. Hoping for a good bounce, something lucky if you're Cal Poly. There's the horn. Shot wouldn't have counted anyways. So Santa Barbara, another strong quarter right there, winning the third period 3-1. We've got 15 minutes to go in this WCLL Division I final, and Santa Barbara, they can smell it.
They've been the cleaner team all day, better on the clear, less turnovers. Brandon kind of dictating the tempo of the game. Sometimes you have a special player like that. Reminds me of Matt Abbott from Syracuse, one of those two-way guys that can control the game, and Brandon's done just that. Some found money from Fisk with a few goals. Menendez doing his thing as a 40-goal scorer, capitalizing on Cal Poly's mistakes. And this is a team that is firing all cylinders and playing their type of game here. And Cal Poly, as the quarters go by, just has not found a way to get back in the game. And you got to give credit to Santa Barbara. This third quarter, they have not let up. They've controlled the face-off X. They forced turnovers on Cal Poly's clear. And when they have had fast breaks, they've made the right passes and located the ball well on their shots.
Yeah, and Santa Barbara, kind of interesting seasons. They started off strong. At one point, they were ranked in the top 10 nationally. And then found a tough stretch of games. Their quality of opponents improved. You know, they had a couple of losses to a Chapman, to a Concordia, teams that are either in the top 10 currently or close to it, teams that are talked about on the national stage. But Santa Barbara, they were up there, and then they kind of fell back down to earth a little bit. They were mixing it up with the WCLL teams. But right now, this team looks to be peaking at the right time. And with a apparent berth at nationals pending the next 15 minutes here, Coach Mike Allen's got to love how they're playing. And frankly, I think Santa Barbara, not a team I would want to see at the national tournament. There's some bracketology out there, maybe throwing some shade at the WCLL, slotting them in at the 14th seed, whoever ends up winning the AQ. And if you're the 14th seed, you're playing a 3. You're playing a Liberty. I saw Georgia up there. Some of those teams that aren't your traditional MCLA powerhouses, and I would not put it past Santa Barbara to upset one of those teams in the first round.
No, I'd never discount the WCLL, and it's great that the game is becoming more national. And it seems like a lot of the teams on the West Coast have beaten each other up, and they do have their flaws. Both these teams, if you look at their scoring, are a little top-heavy. But Santa Barbara, when you have a face-off guy playing the way he is, goalie standing tall, and some offensive studs, it's not a team you want to face going into the tournament, and anything can happen. And again, as we talk about their studs, Brandon with another face-off win.
Brandon to Fisk. Fisk has Dwelly, maybe. Brandon subbing himself off, wanting to keep his legs fresh, maybe get his line mate Sam Nash some run. Menendez showing off his moves. Good check from Johnson, puts the ball on the ground. And that time Johnson did come up with the ball, drew the push. So see who comes up with it here. Cal Poly does. They've got 11 seconds to clear it. And if they don't, they'll have a man-up opportunity awaiting. But
they need to
free
speed this up.
Free possession if they want it. You got to get it across. 3-2. Okay, they got it. I think you still need to push. 8 goals, 13 minutes.
Go right to the cage.
It's a one-on-one matchup with no slide. It's a best player against a best player right there. So far Gomez has easily gotten the best of that matchup, holding Mika Lejeski just to 1 assist.
Yeah, just great positioning from Gomez all day, and he really hasn't given up anything over the top.
Osborne rolls back. Sanders with it up top. Sanders to Kramer. Kramer pull pass.
They've tried that little slip pass all day, and I think they've converted it 1 for 5. That's got to be a gimme pass within the rotation of your offense.
Well, it's a hard one, too, as there we go. Waterman able to put one home. So a nice job from Princeton. Princeton, I believe, gets the assist there. Waterman, good cut from behind. But you're right, that pass, it's a pull pass, as they call it, can be effective. But if you miss it, that ball's rolling towards the midline, right? That's transition going the other way. Princeton comes up with it, finds Waterman. Nice little no-look assist there.
Princeton, great job with his head up. Waterman, great decisive cut. Santa Barbara caught on a switch, ball watching a little bit. Down 10-3, Cal Poly, every time they win possession, they got to force the issue, whether that's a pick down with the D midi. They've got to score and score quickly.
And with Brandon playing the way he has been, makes a comeback that much more daunting. Though Lyons able to win that clamp, pops it out to Wilson. Ball with Kobach. Kobach finds a safety valve in Waterman. Horn sounds. As the officials are trying to figure out what's going on. Looks like the shot clock maybe had been reset for a second, and they're running some time off here. So 70 seconds on the shot clock as they restarted. Ball working to X for Cal Poly. Almost forcing another turnover with a well-timed check.
And you gotta go.
Kramer seems to be the party starter for the Mustangs from the midfield. Takes a lefty shot at his angle was
dwindling a little bit, low angle there.
Yeah.
Not a bad dodge. You're gonna have to make some individual.
Waterman gets a pick behind. Looks inside to Osborne. Osborne rolls right. Tried to skip through to Mikolajewski and just not a good pass right there.
Kind of stuck between two players though, Sanders and Mikolajewski. I think he was kind of looking at Sanders and then saw Mikolajewski and just tossed it wide.
Just put it between them. Good clear to Fisk. Santa Barbara very efficient in the clear game, always have been. I think that's a staple of Gaucho lacrosse. Known for it, you know. I remember game planning for it. They got the four guys across the middle. They push one way, make it hard to run a ride effectively, and they've cleared it a pretty great clip today.
Yeah, I've been impressed with their patience when they need to be patient, and then attacking when it's presented itself. And here's a time where they just need to be patient, burn some clock. They're up 7, and time is on their side here.
Ooh, nice check right there. That's Siegel, showing why he was a third-team WCLL D-Midi as a freshman. $11 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
For Siegel, a check like that, almost kind of a rusty gate. That's kind of like on your highlight video. That's a behind-the-back goal for an attackman when you're a D-Midi.
I wasn't sure to call it a rusty gate or not because the hand didn't come off. There's that slip pass again, just didn't get through, but somehow found the stick of Kramer. Kramer tries to escape pressure. Osborne to Miko. Miko dodging high off a pick, rolls back into it, pick again. Just Gomez is all over it, man. I do want to talk about something you mentioned on the offensive end for Santa Barbara was, oh, they're going to be patient. Well, Santa Barbara being patient, they were still really just zipping the ball around, right? Patience isn't holding it in our stick. Whoops, can't do that. Patience is not holding it in our stick. Patience is let's keep it hot and take time off. What happened there? You know, pass scoop slipped through the Cal Poly offense, and a Cal Poly defender just stepped over the midline to try and keep it there. Maybe he forgot he was standing on the 50. Maybe he just really wanted to try and keep the ball on the offensive end.
Been a few mental mistakes for Cal Poly, and you got to know where you are on the field.
Menendez with it. calling for a pick from Thomas. Gets his right hand free. Works it through to Schwartz. Schwartz jammed, ball pops loose. And these are the ground balls that Santa Barbara has come up with today. Let's see if they do again. There's 4 blue shirts to 1 white shirt, and that is all you need to see to know how this game is gone. As Santa Barbara calls the timeout.
They've won most of those scrums. They've won the scrums on the face-off. They've won the scrums on the sideline after a possession. And Cal Poly, I mean, they have 4 defenders in the hole like they're up 10-3. I mean, they need possessions. 9 minutes left to go. And they have 4 guys in the hole, 1 guy for Cal Poly battling it out, man advantage or numbers advantage for Santa Barbara, and they win another ground ball.
Yeah, and a good timeout there from Coach Allen. I don't think he has used one yet this half. So sensing, that was a chaotic play. As a great job from Schwartz to come up with the ground ball after he was the one who ended up turning it over. But he stayed in it. He boxes guy out. He's playing physical. He scoops through the ball, which so often, you're in that position. You might want to goose it out to a teammate or play hockey with it a little bit. He just scoops through, eats a check, comes out with it, runs to space. He actually had space. Coach Allen just calls a timeout to make sure we get it settled down.
I'm Coach Allen. You're talking to the team. Up 7 goals. You're telling your team, hey, every possession, let's not go until there's at least 50 seconds off the shot clock. So I'd go around 20 or 30. You're winning the face-offs with Brandon. Your offense has been pretty solid, pretty methodical all day, and no reason to turn this game into an up-and-down game. Sit on the ball. It's a little harder to do with the shot clock game, but still, 80 seconds, that's a lot of time to kill off, especially when there's only 9 minutes to go left in the game.
Here's Connor Rule out to meet Jake Brannon. It looks like they're going to go high pressure as the Jasons are pretty locked off here. So Rule seemingly one of the better takeaway guys for this Mustang defense. Well, he just got ran by Brannon. Brannon, gets a good look off. And ground ball picked up by Collins. Collins bounced pass to Rackos. Rackos rolls through. Rackos kind of fell into a check there. I'm glad they didn't throw that flag. They absolutely would have thrown it in a high school game as he fell into a check to the helmet. Coach Werder calls a timeout. 8.5 minutes to go. Down 7. But you can't get them all back at once here.
No, I know in our first broadcast we talked about, hey, you don't need the individual heroics. 1 goal at a time. Now I think you do need a little individual heroics. You do need someone to take a man on one-on-one and score a couple quick ones. You can't play your normal offense. You've got to attack. You've got to press the issue. You've got to be willing to deal with a few turnovers here. Again, time is not on your side. And you got to look to your goal scorers on the season to make something happen. I know Mika Lejeski hasn't played for most of the season, but his points per game are excellent. He's a 2-time All-American. Sanders is at over 30 goals. Those are the guys you got to look to.
Yeah, and when Cal Poly has gone to a set play here today, it's been in the stick at 28, Kramer. And maybe they like him as that initial dodger, but I'd like to see Miko with it. I think that he needs to get involved in this offense if they are going to have any shot at climbing back here with just over 8 minutes to go.
And that may mean, turning the corner and throwing your body into Gomez a little bit, even though Gomez has played great D all day. So here's Miko with the ball, and need to see a little action. Someone willing to take on a guy.
Getting everyone a set. It is Kramer going to initiate. Kramer dodges Fisk. Kramer gets to the middle, gets a shot on Cage, blocked there by Schwab, and winning the ground ball was Waterman. You've got a case there, Waterman, for a push. Referee disagrees.
Great dodge, great look by Kramer, just did not fall.
Oh, Brendan Casey just faked out his defender, but able to clean it up as the Cal Poly pull Max Koback. We're settling into a possession down 7. I get we want to get our offensive personnel out there, but at the same time, that lets Santa Barbara's defense get settled too. I think you need to take a little page out of Santa Barbara's playbook and just push when the numbers are low, right? Those 6-on-5 opportunities. When there's open space, you attack it, you draw a slide, and then there's more open space. Now we're playing 6-on-6, and Santa Barbara can execute game plan. Waterman with it behind to Mikolajeski. Miko dodges low. Draws a double team. He had the shorty for a second, but Iwasaki, who set the pick, ended up falling down and taking himself out of the play, which let Gomez double team on Miko. Good takeaway there by the Gauchos was 22, Brendan Casey. And clearing in the stick of Miles Park. Cochler.
Just excellent defense from Santa Barbara today. There's 6-on-6 defense. We can complicate the game as much as we want with X's and O's, but Santa Barbara has been daring Cal Poly to beat them off the dodge, and they've just Dikembe Mutombo finger wave and said, not today. It's not happening. 3 goals, holding a team in the championship to 3 goals. Just a tip of the hat to Santa Barbara. Awesome, awesome team defense.
And really, you know, the goals that they did get, they gave up the first goal. They gave up a couple, I think 1 man up maybe, and then, you know, maybe 1 settled. But I'm you know, searching in my memory for their 3 goals. They're not 3 standout goals, which just speaks to how sound Santa Barbara's defense has been. Cochler, hitches back to the middle, rings one off crossbar, so it is a shot clock reset with 5:46 left to go in this game.
And at this juncture, it's really going to take a miracle for Cal Poly to get back in this game. You start doing the math with an 80-second shot clock, there just are not enough possessions left for Cal Poly.
Yeah, that last shot by Cochler, great job of getting it on cage. He took a check. He thought, okay, well, I don't know what he thought, but maybe he was thinking, hey, this shot, it's not going to have a lot of juice on it. Maybe he tries to pull it high to at least make it a possession shot, skims that crossbar, there's a fresh 80.
Yeah, it's almost at this point more valuable than a goal. I'm sure he wants one on the stat sheet, but this is going to put your
Berger
team in a great
gets to
position
the
to win.
middle, takes a couple checks, bounces to Cochler. Cochler turns the corner, just misses wide.
What I've enjoyed seeing from these Santa Barbara players is that extra step to greatness on these dodges. Cochler had a shot a little earlier, but one more hesitation increased his angle and didn't bury it, but I love the idea of that one more step. Something I was allergic to when I played.
Dwelly has the ball dislodged, but had it for a second was Siegel.
And Santa
but he was
Barbara
falling
again.
out of bounds, and so, he had to kind of throw a desperation pass to the middle. Good stick right there from Rakos, puts it on the ground. Another time, Cal Poly falling out of bounds.
There's just go to the sideline.
This is the effort right here that has won Santa Barbara this game. Now, it's not a race to the end line in that situation, but nonetheless, lovely effort from Schwab. Having a conversation about it, and the ball's going to stay Cal Poly. Four minutes and 10 seconds in this fourth quarter. 7-goal lead for the Gauchos. Princeton with it up top. Princeton to Sanders. Sanders, lefty, eaten up inside. That shot never even made it through. Kramer secures a rebound. Works to Waterman. Princeton draws a slide through X to Waterman, skip across back to the middle. Sanders with it, shoots high, off cage. Sanders is upset with himself there.
Nice work cycling it behind, a nice downhill dodge, but it looks like there's so many players for Cal Poly occupying. 2 guys cutting into the same spot there, and that's happened quite a bit on those dodges where they haven't had the proper spacing.
Yeah, they've crowded themselves, and Racco's taking himself out of the play a little bit right there just to get an unnecessary hit on a Santa Barbara player. Taking himself out of the play again right there. Racco's playing a little bit wild. And Menendez smartly doesn't attack afterwards, right? Menendez knows the situation. We're under 3 minutes. We're going to nationals. I don't need another goal right now. The 80 seconds, as you said earlier, is more valuable than anything on the stat sheet at this point.
You can see the frustration is starting to bubble over in Cal Poly. They just never got into this game the whole way. And as much as this has been Cal Poly playing a poor game and not being their self, you have to look at their opponent, Santa Barbara, and what they've been able to do at all levels of the game has really been impressive. And this is a dangerous team that I wouldn't want to see in this MCLA tournament coming up, getting this qualifying bid.
Yeah, curious to see how the bracket shakes out with today being Selection Sunday on top of Championship Sunday for many divisions around the nation. Menendez going to step into one. Chu with a nice save. Good job sticking with it, Chu. Racco's feeds to Miko. Miko finds the back of the net there, but with a minute and 54 left, down 6, you're going to need about 6 more goals that are that fast. So Racco's good assist. Miko, nice finish there, but a little bit too little, too late, as they say.
Definitely one of those little clean-up garbage goals at the end of the game. Good push by Rackos and good luck, good handle. You just wish that happened a little earlier in the game. But nonetheless, an awesome goal there.
Santa Barbara fans, they're feeling it. Brandon doing what he's done all day, and that's win faceoffs and fight for ground balls. Kicked into the defensive end for the Mustangs, and Racco's with it again. Works upfield. Unable to handle it was Mikolajewski, but gets the ground ball. Sanders asking for it. Surprised Sanders hasn't dodged as much today. You know, he's a catch and shoot kind of guy. At least that's how he's seemed in this offense so far. 31 goals, 16 assists though, so he can distribute, and maybe that speaks to the quality of his defender. And there's a exhibit A of he can shoot. As Sanders rings one, piping in off stick hip. So 10-5.
I mean, he can shoot with both hands. Hell of a shooter with the right and the left. He scored earlier in the first half with the right hand. This one just coming off, kind of a little banana cut there from up top. Quick release with the left.
Yeah.
Now it would be nice to have him dodge, but if you could shoot like that with your right and left, that makes you a lethal player in the MCLA. But again, just a little too late here. You wish you could see that maybe in a first half set to get this team in the game, but at this juncture, they're just garbage goals at this point.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about Miles Park, freshman out of San Diego. He's the one tasked with defending Sanders. So these two guys are freshmen. They're going to be playing against each other for 3 more years after this. And maybe that's why Sanders hasn't been dodging. Maybe Park's got his number. Park probably has to play a lot of off ball, but when he's on ball, he's been, just like the rest of the Santa Barbara defense, he's been very sound with his footwork and his positioning.
Yeah, I'm sure these two teams are pretty familiar with each other. They know the matchups they like. They know the matchups they want. But again, Santa Barbara just in general has played terrific one-on-one defense, and it's tough to manufacture 10, 11 goals in a game when you don't have that one-on-one offense.
Oh, sick shot right there, Fisk, for number 5 on the day. My goodness, 5 goals today, 1 goal yesterday, 6 goals this weekend to match his 7 on the season prior. Fisk, I'd say, if we're talking player of the game, we've talked about it all day. Brannon, Fisk, Menendez is in the conversation as well, but I think both those guys, on the fact that they're playing both ends of the field and dominating both ends of the field. Fisk, you got my vote. Corbo, what are we thinking?
Look, when you almost double up your regular season total into the championship game, and that's 5 goals from Fisk, I'm going to have to agree with you, Chris. Menendez, that's just another day in the office with 3 goals today.
Well, Brandon right here is saying, hey, guys, what about me? I'm just dodging through the entire defense, winning a faceoff, securing the WCLL title for my team. So, yeah, I think it's Fisk, but Brandon, you got my respect too, my man. So Santa Barbara takes home the WCLL title and the automatic qualifier for this year's Nationals tournament. For those of you at home watching, maybe you're keeping tabs on some of our other West Coast leagues. We've actually got an upset in the SLC with Chapman beating Concordia. So Chapman with the automatic qualifier, and that'll help their seeding as well when the committee meets this evening. And then, let's talk about the other West Coast League too. I guess Simon Fraser, they were able to capture the PNCLL title as well. So I think they're an undefeated season right now, Simon Fraser. So Simon Fraser, Santa Barbara, and Chapman, they're the 3 teams from the West Coast that are for sure headed to Nationals. You got to think out of the SLC, there's at least a few more. Well, John, not the game we maybe expected here, but Santa Barbara demonstrating why they won this game. They took it from Cal Poly, and they took it to Cal Poly for 4 straight quarters.
An all-around decisive game from Santa Barbara. That was a complete game that they hope they can bottle up and bring it to the NCAA tournament. I'm really excited to see what this team can do come playoff time.
A lot of momentum building for the Gauchos. They'll take a week off here to prepare for Nationals. Safe travels to the Gauchos, getting to Texas, and good luck, and hope you represent the WCLL. We're proud of you. Good job today, good effort, and way to earn that dub. All right, have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Signing off for the last time, I'm Chris Nespor. That's John Corbellati. Thanks for listening.
Testing. Can you hear me?
Everybody, you want tight on.